Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mob Vlog. We are live February 28th, 2024. And we got Red Wemette with us today. We're going to be talking about the top 5 myths, according to the Las Vegas Museum is anyway.
You're not live.
Yeah, guys, it is Mob Vlog.
Hey everybody, grab a coffee and cannoli. It's time for Mob Vlog with my friend Adam Flowers and Red Wemette.
You are
Red
not
Wemette, how you doing today?
You are not live.
Yeah, we're live right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I hate to tell you this, but we're really live, Red. Yeah. So we're 40 seconds into the show, as a matter of fact.
I don't see that.
Red doesn't think we're live. Everybody, let Red know that we're live.
Yeah, I don't see it out of my window. I got a thing up in the corner.
Yeah, we're live, man. I promise you, we're live.
Okay.
There's a red dot up in the corner of the screen.
Come on, folks. Tell me to say something. Push a 1.
You know what? Actually, this happened once. Red and I sat here for about 15 minutes talking that we were live. And we turned out not to be live. For 20 minutes, we sat here, and we thought that the comments, people were commenting to us, and we were talking and all that. So, yeah, we're live, guys. So, welcome in, everybody. Don Chichillo, Catherine Guerrero, Bobby Bag of Donuts, Greg Polly, Alan B. Everybody's here. Keith Helton, Don Cheech is in the room, Sonny Zarro, Frank Ferraro. Welcome in, guys. Some of you guys have been here for a half an hour already, commenting and sitting there talking in the side chats. If you guys are new here, it is Mob Vlog. We talk about the Chicago outfit mainly, but we also talk about other things related to the mob. And Red over here, he is originally from Chicago, and the mob had the muscle on him at one point, and he was having to kick envelopes up to the bosses. So anyway, hey guys, welcome in. Cindy, it's nice to see you. Cindy Casanova, Benedict.
Good to see all of you. It's good to see all of you.
Everybody. So Red and I were looking around. We're always looking, what are we going to do the show about? What are we going to talk about? And we came across an article on the Mob Museum website and thought, well, what the hell? Let's talk about this, because this is going to bring up some controversy.
Our favorite place, the Mob Museum in Las Vegas.
By the way, if you haven't been to the Mob Museum, do the Mob Museum. It's fun. Give yourself at least 3 hours to walk through it. It's a lot of fun. I just had people do the mob tour, and then they went to the Mob Museum the other day right afterward. So make it a whole mob day. All right. So number 5 myth: the mob doesn't kill civilians. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree. I disagree as well. The mob, in the movie Bugsy, I guess in their blog, they said that he said to Del Webb, "Don't worry, Del, we only kill each other." Benjamin, Warren Beatty in the movie Bugsy said that to him. And not true. They don't just kill each other. Examples?
Well, I don't know how many times I've heard the word collateral damage.
Collateral damage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Benjamin, hello from suburban Chicago. Nice, man. Good to have you in. So, give us some examples. People that were killed that were collateral damage, Red.
Charlotte Dauber.
Okay.
Billy Dauber's wife.
Dauber's wife, yeah. Right.
There were several people that. The burglars during that Tony Accardo's burglar. He said, "Kill them all. We don't care if they did it or not. They'll be an example for the next ones."
Yeah.
That was about 8 or 9 people.
Right. Alan B is disagreeing that that's a myth, that they just kill each other, or that you're agreeing it's a myth because it's a myth. They do kill each other.
If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're a dead man.
Yeah, you're the groundhog's mailman. You're now the groundhog's mailman? What's that mean?
I don't know.
I've never heard that expression before.
Tamarand. They're talking about Tamarand.
Tamarand.
Yeah, okay. She had a lawsuit against, and she was a civilian.
She was collateral damage. Had to go, right? That was she wasn't mobbed up. Good one, Keith. Good.
There's
good one.
dozens of cases, dozens of them.
They do. In their article, they referred to Brian Halloran, an FBI informant that was marked for death by James Whitey Bulger. Yeah.
Oh, what about going back to the Capone days where they accidentally killed a state's attorney?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's another one. Accidentally.
Yeah.
It's accidentally. So, Joshua Allen Marshall. Adam, is your mind still blown? Record players used to be in cars. I'm over it. Joshua, it took me a few days to process it, but I'm over it. Yes. Record players in the cars. Let's not get off topic just yet now.
Actually, a couple people sent me emails showing me the cars.
Dutch Schultz killed everybody in the way. Who is Dutch Schultz? Right?
Oh, he's New York.
New York? Okay.
But then again, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. There were innocent people in there. The mechanic.
Okay. Yeah, the mechanic.
The dog. The German Shepherd dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the dog. The poor dog. Yeah. See, nobody even talks about the dog. Poor dog. Man, I forgot all about that. What was his name? Remember that?
The dog? I don't know.
Yeah, I know there's a name for the dog.
I don't even remember the mechanic's name.
Yeah. All right.
Gus Greenbaum.
Gus Greenbaum. Best Greenbaum. Best Greenbaum. Killed in 58.
Thank you, Jim.
Is that Gus Greenbaum's wife? Bess? I'm going to guess it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Highball. There it is. Thanks, Alan B. That was the dog's name. Highball. Yeah. Thanks. I knew you guys would know that. Was Marilyn Monroe considered a bystander?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. She wasn't an outfit associate.
Right? I mean, she wasn't. She was you know, gotta go. Oh, Bobby Bag of Donuts. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves just yet. Like the Kennedys.
It's coming later.
We're coming to that. Don't worry. Yeah, look at so there was a lot of bystanders that were killed. Hit the like button, guys. Don't forget to smash that button. If you're new here, you're just coming in, hit the subscribe, the like button, hit the bell, you get the little notification. Alan B, yeah, don't jump ahead. We're going to get to that. Okay, that's one of the myths.
Bigfoot Turkey says, I could have been a victim, but I wasn't. I wasn't a victim.
Had Red got out of line, they'd have popped him, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't have cared who they...
No.
Yeah. So we're saying that we'll agree. We're agreeing that... oh, my God. Marilyn Monroe was laying down on the job. Oh, yeah. My God. That reminds me, I got to write my sister.
They gave her a piece. Eternal.
I'm just kidding, Red. She's back on her feet. Sorry, guys. That one's right over Red's head for a second. Are we talking, Van Pastor Man? Are we talking about made men in the Italian mob, or are we talking about associates and criminals from other organizations?
We're talking about innocent people that were killed by the mob.
Yeah,
innocent. They didn't do anything to get killed. They were businessmen. They were civilians.
Helen Brock,
civilian, total.
Right, Helen Brock, civilian.
100%.
Ended up in the vat of molten steel.
Yes.
Like at the end of Terminator?
Yes, not very much.
Thank you, Fun Eagle. Today is Bugsy Siegel's birthday. Happy birthday, Benjamin Siegel. Speaking of Benjamin Siegel, it's his birthday. Thank you. Didn't know that. Wow, great. Every day's...
Masters. I don't know about Diane Masters. I don't know if it was a mob job.
I don't know who was Diane Masters.
It's a Chicago thing.
Okay.
But there are enough collateral things in Chicago without going into too much detail.
What about the jeweler Bob Brown in Chicago?
That's another one.
Right? Larry Newman and Wayne Matecki took him out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
who's the one that Wayne or Newman went to kill because he had an argument with his wife? And he went and killed the guy who was in
Yeah,
McKinley.
He killed the guy and the
waitress.
owner and the waitress. Yeah. That was a triple homicide. It was two waitresses and the owner and his brother and the waitress, I think. Yeah. The two owners and the waitress, I think it was. Chef Paul. Don't be sorry. You're not late. You're right on time. And thanks for bringing your whole family out to do the Vegas Mob Tour last week. It was nice meeting you and your family, and happy birthday again to your daughter. Thanks again.
Scott H is on his way home. He's headed back to Florida. He's almost there.
All right. What about the guys in the elevator in Park Ridge? Remember that one?
Yeah, that was on the.
That was another. There's so much collateral damage. We can't even. Let's get on to myth number 2. Okay.
Let's go for it.
Myth number 2. So agree or disagree that it's a myth that the mob doesn't deal drugs.
I don't know how far you want to go back, but I would guess in Chicago, it would go back to Sam DiStefano dealing drugs, Sammy D.
Right.
And because of his brother being an addict.
Mario.
No, Michael. Mario agreed that they had to eliminate his brother. Michael. That was in 1952. I'm sure there were drugs there earlier than that.
Okay. Now, this myth is because according to
who's this guy here?
Who's what guy? Fun Eagle. Red, I finished your book. It was fantastic. Very well done. Please support Red in his book. You'll be glad if you did. It's very informative. If you guys haven't bought Red's book, go to redwemette.com and go buy his book. It's a good book. Go to his channel and you can go listen to me read the book to Red with his commentary and thoughts while we're reading it. So, Art Kelly. Hello, gentlemen. Art, thank you so much. Listen to what happened the other day.
Hi, Art.
Art calls me up. He's going to pick up the bull, and he's taking the bull to go have a meeting with
the bull.
No, yeah, Sammy
the bull.
Going to have a meeting with the writer of the movie Casino. Now, I got a script of Casino, and it's autographed. I bought it off of eBay. It's autographed by De Niro, Sharon Stone, Jerry Vale, Don Rickles, Scorsese, Pesci, James Woods.
Only one of the autographs is legit.
Wait. I got Frank to sign it, okay? He signed it. One of his last thing I think Frank signed. One of the last things. He signed it. I told Art on the phone, hey, man, maybe I get this script out there and get Pileggi to sign it because I don't have Nick's signature on it. So I asked Art, I said, man, do you think he didn't? And now Art's a memorabilia dealer. And he said to me, you don't have a script cover with all those signatures. I said, the shit if I don't, man. Took a picture, sent it to him. I started looking at those autographs and comparing them. Man, we got had. That's not Martin Scorsese's autograph on this fucking thing. I was so upset, but I got a cool story because the only signature on the whole damn thing that's real is Frank's. Anyway, thanks, Art. Good to see you. All right, let's get to
Robert Murphy.
Let's get back to number 2. The drug.
No, he did not deal. Tony did not deal cocaine.
I thought that Tony and Frank were involved with that out here.
They were involved in using it, and they would buy for their own whatever. Frank would sell it, but Tony didn't sell it. But theoretically, he took 20%, so he sold it too.
Okay. I mean, it just seemed to me like didn't David Bowman say he broke into Frank's house and stole a bunch of drugs?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What were they going to do with those drugs? They were going to sell them.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And Frank kept them. Frank kept the drugs from him.
So
David Bowman gave him the score. The burglars went and did it, and they came back and said, "Oh, there wasn't enough in there." And it was already in Colada's house. One of the guys that worked for Colada told Bowman about it. He went and broke in the house and took his stuff.
Right, stole stuff, right? So,
yeah.
All right, that's what I thought anyway. There was a lot of drugs going on and involved anyway. But the whole misconception in the movie The Godfather, Don Corleone says, "But drugs, that's a dirty business." And
Back then it was. There was a guy by the name of Carlo Gambino, and his words were, "You deal, you die."
Okay.
And he died in 1972.
New York boss Joseph Bonanno, in his autobiography, Man of Honor,
drugs,
wrote, "I did not tolerate in dealings in prostitution or narcotics." But it seems like they were a lot of drugs. So we're going to say it completely.
They turned their heads the other way. They didn't look.
Right? That's what it was. If it brought money in, they were involved with it. Plain and simple. Yeah, Red hasn't watched Griselda. He doesn't give a shit about Griselda. Yeah, I watched the whole show. I binged through it, and Ryan Brown said you got to check it out. Threw a super sticker up, so I did. I went and watched it. I thought it was pretty good, but man, all it is drugs, just drugs. That's all the whole damn thing, you know. We're gonna get kilos of cocaine and bring it, you know.
Back in the 90s, when I lived in Palm Beach, there was all kinds of killings and everything on 995 that had to do with her. And I used to hear the news all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was just crazy because they didn't belong to any organization other than Columbia.
Sure. You got one person, Bigfoot Turkey, agrees with you. He didn't care about Griselda either. He thinks it looks awful. I didn't care for the actor who played her.
Actress.
Well, no, they're actors now. There's just an actor.
Oh, we finally got no policeman or no policewoman.
Right. There's a police officer, actor. It's a server. It's not a waiter and a waitress. It's a server. So
it's unisex.
Come on, get with it, Red. Get with it.
I never will get with it.
Wake up. Get a little.
I'm never going to be politically correct ever.
Okay, Adam, his underboss, Carmine.
Oh, John Campus.
Carmine Galenti.
Mm-hmm.
Galenti handled all the drug trade. Yeah, there was a lot. So, and she's in Modern Family. I get it. The crowd ditched the woke definitions. All right, so I didn't like the actress. What can I say? You know. All right.
Do you know who this is?
Who?
John Campus was the biggest drug dealer that I ever knew in my entire life. He was 23 years old, and he was moving about $25,000 a week in cocaine. And that was back in 1983, 84, 85. And when he was arrested, they gave him 45 years in prison.
Yeah.
And he actually put out hit orders or murder contracts on police officers and federal agents. This guy thought he was really something when he was young.
All right, Jim Yeager, the PK crew, which is part of the Grand Avenue out of Chicago, were busted for trying to rip off a drug stash house back in 2014, 10 years ago.
I can go even before that. Mikey Switek was arrested by Jimmy DeLordo of the ATF in 1986 with 2 kilos of cocaine.
And Red, you sold Rush.
That wasn't a drug.
It's a drug.
Nope.
Come on.
And you take the contents, take them apart.
All right. If I take the modeling glue, okay, that the Kraut uses to make his car, if I take that and I smell that and sit there and sniff it, am I using drugs?
Theoretically, yes.
Okay. If they're sniffing your stuff, same thing.
But my bottle said right on it, room odorizer. Do not inhale.
So you put a warning.
Odorizer.
You put a warning on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bigfoot Turkey. You sold porn. That's a drug.
Oh, come on.
It's a drug for your mind.
I like you a lot. I like your comments, but I got to tell you, if it's a drug, it's a metal drug.
Bobby, I never liked cocaine. Just like the way it smelled. Yeah.
I never smelled it, Bobby.
For entertainment purposes only. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go with it's a myth. The mob did sell drugs. They
Yes, they did.
Okay. Myth number 3.
Luminous Grin, you're right. It gave you headaches. It gave me headaches even being around it when we were bottling it. It drove me crazy. That's why I am the way I am today.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. All right, number 3. This is the myth. The mob started Las Vegas.
No.
No.
I think the one guy that came in from California really kind of started, but the financiers of Las Vegas was the Mormon Church.
All right. Now look, if you go back and you look at the history of Las Vegas, let's start with Las Vegas. It means the meadows. It was named that by Rafael Rivera. Mexican scout explorer comes through the desert, sees these springs and the meadows and says Las Vegas and puts it on the map. The Paiutes and the Anasazi were here. They knew where the water was. You're in the middle of the desert. Water is important to people. So they were here. Then the Mormons were sent. Joseph
1850.
Or Joseph Good. What am I talking about? I'm talking about
Brigham Young.
Brigham Young. Thank you. Brigham Young and Joseph Smith. Brigham Young and Joseph Smith. Now they send guys down here to teach the Indians how to the agriculture, how to grow things, and right. And the Indians ran them out. They didn't want them here. Sorry, the Native Americans. Well, Red will correct me if I don't, so I might as well get it. They're the Native Americans, okay? The Indians come from India. And anyway, that's bring them in and Brigham Young. Oh my God, Bobby Bag of Donuts. Bring them in and Brigham Young. Oh, you believe that? Brigham Young and those start in Vegas. You imagine that? And they financed it all too. The Mormon Church financed it. Yeah.
They just said, we're not having anything to do with the gambling. We're in the real estate. We're selling the property that the casinos are built on.
You imagine if the Mormons really got into the gambling, you know? You what those slot machines would be like back then? Come on. I got 2 Brighams and 1 wife. Come on, I need all 3 Brighams in there. Slot machine.
Mormon Holy Cross.
All right. So the railroad, the Union Pacific Railway came into town next in the early 1900s. That's the town started to sprout up. Then the Boulder Dam project started, later named Hoover Dam. But the Boulder Dam, the town really sprouted up.
The New Deal.
Yes. So, but if you go back and you look at the Strip and the mob and all, you got Billy Wilkerson. Sure, he was building the Flamingo long before Bugsy muscled in on the job.
What's the name of that cop that came out from L.A.?
Guy McGaffey.
Right.
Guy McGaffey opened up bought the Paradise Club, renamed it Club 91, coined the Strip, managed the El Rancho, opened the Mandalay Room, the Frontier Club, and then he opened the Nugget in 1946, the Golden Nugget. October, which was 3 months before the grand opening of the Flamingo.
And then the mob took over.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got to see,
There's
it.
money here. We're going to take it. You guys built it. We're going to take it away from you.
Why not? So the mob started Vegas. We'll agree that's a myth. Okay. Number 2. Let's get on. The mob helped elect John F. Kennedy. That's a
number
myth.
3.
No, that's number 2.
You just went through 2.
No, number 3 was the mob started Vegas.
Who's on first?
Okay, number 5, the mob doesn't kill civilians. Number 4, the mob doesn't deal drugs. Number 3, the mob started Vegas. Number 2, the mob helped elect John F. Kennedy. According to the museum, that's a myth.
It's not a myth.
It's not a myth.
From Chicago, and you lived during that time, you would have found out that Illinois was kind of a Republican state with Eisenhower.
Right.
And then all of a sudden came Kennedy. And Eisenhower's vice president, Nixon, was running against Kennedy. And it was a close race, but they got Joe Kennedy, got to Giancana, and Giancana said he would secure the vote through the unions. Now, it just wasn't Chicago and Illinois that voted. It was West Virginia, the coal miners union. All the unions that Chicago controlled, they got out the vote. And they did do it. It was a very narrow margin, extremely narrow. But they did do it. And I was there. As a kid, I was there, teenager.
Hold on the election. Before Billy Wilkerson, Tom Hull opened the El Rancho in 1943. It was the first casino on the property known as the Strip. It was out there on Highway 91, the El Rancho. You know, nothing's ever been built in its spot either. It's a mystery property. Nothing's ever been built in the spot. It burned to the ground after Marshal Caifano was thrown out by Belden Cattleman and his guys.
That's what I was told.
A couple days later, the fucking place burned down. So tell me that didn't have anything to do with the mob, right? So anyway, thanks for throwing that in there, Fun Eagle. Appreciate that. Okay, back to JFK getting elected. Thank you. So the Kennedys knew Sam Giancana since childhood, and their dad talked to Giancana and said, "If you help my son become president, we'll help you."
That was the deal.
So yeah, and then as soon as he's elected, he appoints his brother to form a task force to go against organized crime.
I'm not hurting you. I'm the president. I'm not hurting you. Oh, my brother is. I can't do anything about my brother. He's out of hand.
These politicians are all the same. Never changes. So we're going with the mob definitely helped him get elected. That is not a myth.
No doubt.
Not a myth. But on the top 5 myths, this is the number 2 myth. And I'm just in light of the museum's aside here. It was easy for the mob to help Joe Kennedy get his son elected president by making sure he won Illinois. Frank Shireen says that in The Irishman in 2019. Their whole point in this article is that Hollywood, has kind of put these myths out there.
They've razzed them up. They sugarcoated it, made it look like it really, different things.
There's rumors Joseph Kennedy approached Chicago mobsters and asked for their help in getting his son elected, but the data did not support this claim. When John F. Kennedy ran for the Democratic Party nomination in 1960, the Chicago outfit's influence only spread to 5 of Chicago's 50 wards.
And it spread to the unions. That's what I tried to explain to you. It was the unions that they wanted. They controlled the coal workers down in West Virginia, Kentucky. They controlled all that.
A statistical analysis of votes in the 1960 election by Chicago mob historian John J. Binder. Am I saying that right? Binder?
I don't know.
Okay. John Binder showed that voting trends on the outfit's historically pro-democratic wards followed similar trends to the rest of Chicago. There is evidence that the outfit labored to influence a down-ticket state's attorney election, but irregularities drew suspicion on only about 6,000 out of 490,000 ballots cast. So they're saying it didn't.
Well, they're looking at Chicago. They don't address the unions that are out of state that we control, or the mob control. And there was a lot of union reps back in those days. It's like saying the UAW is going to support a candidate.
To their credit, the Chicago outfit did have the ability to influence Chicago's elections, especially when a Republican candidate campaigned on organized crime crackdowns. The outfit's awards show statistically significant voting trends heavily in favor of Daley in the 55 mayoral election.
Outrageous.
Daley's reformer opponent, Robert Merriam, became a threat to the mob after he vowed to end Chicago's tolerance of racketeers. Well, all right. Finally, number one myth. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
The mob assassinated President J.F.K.
Most certainly.
They say it's a myth.
They didn't actually have the idea to come up and say, "Oh, we're going to assassinate JFK," but it was in their best interest, and they were given a job by a certain agency that wanted to get rid of him because he had said he was going to break up that agency.
Some type of intelligence.
Nothing left of it. That was it. He said he was going to spread it to the four corners of the earth.
Is it an intelligence agency?
Yes.
Okay.
The Central Intelligence Agency.
There you go.
It's a fact. And do I believe that Chucky Nicoletti was there? Do I believe that some of these other people were there? Yeah. Even Marshall Cafano told me he was there. Didn't tell me what he's doing there, but I didn't ask.
They were all right. William Davidson, thanks for joining in. Richard Daley pushed the unions to back Kennedy. Kennedy took Chicago votes 3 times over.
It's a fact. And Bill would know. Bill would know.
Gomph, the outfit was doing a job for the clowns in America. CIA, here you go. That's what it is. I mean, it's that's what we're going with. Hey, Carl, welcome in. So, so we're going. I mean, we've talked about this in depth, and it's funny. So I just went down that rabbit hole watching the Oliver Stone, documentary movie. Deals about. He was. I mean, the bullet hit him in the front, man. All they say hit him. The bullet hit him in the front, man.
There's no doubt about that.
Blew the whole back of the head off,
I
man.
I really believe in James Files' story. I really do.
You believe James Files was there?
Yeah, because he has he has too many questions and too many answers. He has the direct trajectory when he was in prison years ago, 35 years ago. He had the best directory and every trajectory on the weapon, but he also had something else. He said they're never going to find the body. It'll never be exhumed. Kennedy's body will never be exhumed because I used mercury rounds, and that mercury would be throughout the body. And so far, they've never exhumed the body. And the skull was removed, the brain was removed, and everything is lost. So aside from he gave too many details, he bit into that shell, which was found, which cannot be confirmed or denied.
Okay.
Except its age.
Sure.
And it was buried there on the spot, but that was a habit he had. He would bite into the shell after he removed it. That was a single shot weapon, that fireball.
Why would he bite into the shell? What kind of
habit? A lot of people that do shooting have weird habits, especially if they're snipers or something like that. But he bit into it and left it there. It's just something that he did. But it can't be confirmed or denied either way. But he did say he left it there, and they did find one there. Well, he didn't place it there. He was in prison when they found it.
Tim Perroni, I'm going to be on a radio show next Tuesday night out of Las Vegas to discuss this. Tim, what show? Where's it on? Where can we listen?
Yeah, Tim.
Tell us. Yeah. I think the headshot came from the front, not the back. My personal opinion, Alan B. That headshot came from the front.
Yes, definitely.
It just did. And yeah. Okay. Bobby Bag of Donuts. Let's read some of these comments, guys. Bobby, we actually stayed on target for 35 minutes damn near here, Red.
Y'all lost your bets.
79 minutes. 79 minutes today. That's what they were giving us. The deal his father made was protection for the mob. John was collateral damage, and the mob goes after all the males the only reason Ted Kennedy didn't get whacked was because they had blackmail.
Yeah, Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick, right? Yep. Oh man.
Tim Peroni says even James Files says that Marshall Cafano was there.
Yeah.
Marshall told me he was there. Why would I lie to you folks?
See? That's the Joint Chiefs of Staff that existed under Eisenhower's administration were all tools picked by the fools in the Truman administration, and Ike went along with it.
Fact.
Oh. CIA, the cannolis in America.
Benjamin, you're doing good.
Okay, so how about I saw here, Ron Roos, Peterson and Schuessler boys. They weren't really collateral damage. That was sick. That guy was a sick.
Crime of Passion by Ken Hansen.
And he wasn't in the mob. He was a twisted old fool.
Oh, no. At that time, he was only 22 years old when he committed the murder.
God, man.
And they were teenagers, so.
See, that guy walked around for 50 years getting away with that shit.
He did.
50
there were
years.
a lot of other people that he did kill, and he got away with it. Because they only wanted him on those murders. You can only kill a guy one time.
Yeah.
And he didn't last long in prison, I'll tell you that much.
No?
No.
What happened in there?
Well, he had some falls, and he broke a hip, and this happened, that happened. I think it was abuse. He wanted to be in protective custody, and they wouldn't give it to him. So I think he was kind of abused by some of his, inmates. But eventually, he died of a heart attack.
God.
He had a stroke and a heart attack.
No. Gomph. Files like to leave a calling card. He once put a dead canary in the mouth of a stoolie they whacked. What?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
What?
Yep.
Was it a live canary?
Yeah.
Oh, no, a dead canary. Sorry, he put a dead canary.
It was a live canary at one time.
Well, it was before it was dead, Red.
No.
It was alive before they killed it. It was.
Files was connected to Chucky Nicoletti, who was connected to Milwaukee Phil.
Sorry, say that again.
James Files was connected to Chucky Nicoletti, who was connected to Milwaukee Phil Algerisio.
Okay.
So it all ran within that crew.
Oh, Fun Eagle. Let's get to the JFK assassination. Or, sorry, the JFK conspiracy. I was telling about this earlier. For those of you who don't know who Jack is, he's an entertainer in town. He was friends with Peter Lawford, like best friends with him.
And other celebrities.
Not other celebrities, but Peter told him about the Kennedy. He anytime he talked about it, Peter, he said the Kennedy conspiracy. Never called it an assassination or murder. He called it the Kennedy conspiracy.
Well, there was a major cover-up. Nobody denies that.
Okay, there were 6 doctors in the room where the president was immediately brought. That's Parkland, not Parkmore. Parkland Hospital.
Parkland Memorial Hospital.
I saw an interview with the doctor located closest to Kennedy's head, and he said there was no doubt the shot entered from the front. That's what they all said.
And as soon as he said that particular doctor, they asked him to leave the room.
And they think, it's not, you got to retract that.
And they asked him later on, he said, who told you to leave the room? And he said, I don't know. There was a lot of brass in there, a lot of generals and, different people in high military positions.
Sam, conspiracy is a slippery slope. I went from believing JFK conspiracy to shapeshifter aliens. Not good. You went too far down the hole, Sam.
Yeah.
Too far down the hole. You get down there far enough, the Earth's flat, okay? So just watch out. Hollywood, mob tours are the best. Check it out. Thank you very much, Hollywood. The mob tour is a lot of fun. You guys come out here, and yeah. Oh, you're going to be on Larry Glenn Anderson's show. Hey, Tim Peroni. He's going to be on K Ghost Radio, guys. That's kghostradio.com. Larry Glenn Anderson does Tuesday nights. He does his shows. I know Larry really well, really, really well, and nice guy. Good
We'll
show.
look for you, Tim.
Yeah, we'll have to have a listen. It's on YouTube. He airs it on YouTube too. So look it up. K Ghost Radio. K Ghost Radio. All right. And you know, he's got it. Larry's got stories for days too. Luminous Grin. I could see the target spitting out feathers like Sylvester the cat. Okay. That's right, Don. If mob was forbidden to shoot cops, how come they whacked? If the mob was forbidden to shoot cops, how come they whacked the president? All right, Carl.
It's a very good point.
Were they forbidden to shoot cops, bro?
No.
They shot cops. Come on,
several,
cops and robbers that bang, bang, bang at each other, right?
all the time.
Okay. I don't think they were forbidden to shoot cops, Carl.
No, it happened all the time.
All right.
I knew it was happening all the time. It did. I watched.
File says he traveled to Dallas.
On my beat, I'm trying to. I wrote about it in my book. I can't remember his name right now. Mark was on my beat, and he was at one time he was chasing Schweiss in a car, and Schweiss got far enough ahead of him, and he pulled over to the curb and parked in a parking spot. Got out and put a quarter in the meter. Mark pulls up and said, "Hey, open the car." He said, "What? You got no warrant? I'm legally parked."
Yeah.
So he calls for a supervisor. The supervisor told him, he said, "Be careful. This guy will put your lights out. He'll kill you." That's what the supervisor told him.
Wow.
So Mark comes to me and he says, "You know this guy. Would he kill me?" I said, "Yeah, he would."
Uh-huh.
And Richard Kane was a police officer. They killed him.
Yeah, Richard Kane. Right.
Didn't matter where you wore a badge or not. Didn't matter who you were.
Yeah. Hit the like button, guys. Be sure to hit the like button. You guys just coming in, don't forget to smash it. Anyone ever see this interview with this guy who worked at the Ford motor plant, swears he saw the limo Kennedy was riding in getting the window replaced because of a small bullet hole?
No.
Oh, I've never heard that or saw that. Sorry, Alan. It was on the History Channel, like the men who killed Kennedy, something like that. I've never seen that. Interesting. I have to look for that.
But there's something else that really bothered me about that whole thing, the conspiracy.
Okay.
Those Secret Service agents were out drinking the night before, and they were intoxicated. And when they got on the job, they really couldn't perform. They couldn't even run next to the limo like they were supposed to. There were supposed to be running agents right next to the limo. They weren't there. They couldn't keep up with it. So who was in charge of the detail? Who told them to go out drinking?
Yeah.
It's all buried. We're never going to be able to prove anything, but it's my personal belief that the mob did it.
Okay.
Where they did it alone? No. I think they had a whole lot of help.
Okay.
Oliver Stone wasn't too far off when he did J.F.K, the movie.
Chauncey Holt.
A lot of people are innocent. There's a lot of innocent people that died too.
Who's Chauncey Holt?
Chauncey Holt
keeps going on here.
What, Tim, bring him up?
Yeah, Chauncey
Holt was a. Go ahead, tell him who he was, Tim.
Chauncey Marvin Holt,
yes.
American, known for claiming to be one of the three tramps that was photographed in.
Fingerprinted and photographed in Dallas.
Assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
He worked for the CIA.
Chauncey Holt. Same that Holt died of cancer at 75. Okay. So claims he made about regarding the assassination. According to Holt, he was a CIA operative sent to Dallas to deliver phony Secret Service credentials.
That's correct.
He claimed to have worked as an accountant for Meyer Lansky.
That's correct.
His account is further explored by his autobiography, Self-Portrait of a Scoundrel, which was posthumously, I have a hard time with that word, posthumously released by Shrine Day Publishing. And like, I have a problem with any words, right? So anyways, that's who it is, Brett. So
hello, Leanne. How you doing?
Leanne's rolling along. One of my coworkers years later got to transport the car that Kennedy was shot in on a car hauler. No kidding. Interesting. That's very interesting. Wow. So I think that the census in is it is definitely not a myth.
So we debunked all of them.
Well, we agree with the first three. I mean, the mob started Vegas. That's a myth. The mob doesn't deal drugs, and the mob doesn't kill civilians. Those are myths. But this J.F.K. thing's got me a little. It's got me a little. You know.
Interested?
Yeah, you know, I just. It
was all before you were born, Adam.
I know. You know, it says this so-called evidence that the mob's involvement lies primarily with Jack Ruby, the man who killed Lee Harvey Oswald 2 days after the assassination.
Who happened to call Irv Weiner in Chicago before he was arrested. He wanted to know about how much of a bond it was going to be if he got arrested.
Is that what he called and asked?
Yes.
Wow.
And Irv Weiner went and testified before the House Assassination Committee.
Okay. I mean, we spent so much time talking about the through the years now that we've been
Weiner was mob.
Yeah.
Him and Milwaukee Phil were like this.
Yeah. So they were mobbed up. So Alan B. So that History Channel raises a lot of situations and a lot of theories. Somebody else said that they saw that show somewhere here on YouTube. So we can dig around and find it, I'm sure.
History Channel is sometimes good.
Yeah.
Sometimes misleading.
Red, who do you think was in the grassy knoll?
James Files.
Files. Okay. I mean, why? The whole thing with James Files. So I went down that rabbit hole and watched his videos. Which, yeah, you got to go look on Rumble and whatnot.
I think his name was Jimmy Sutton. His real name was Sutton. And he changed it to Files.
Right. I think I read that somewhere or heard that somewhere too.
When I researched it at one time, I found out that he was on a junkyard, on a license for a junkyard in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And he had a lot to do with racing cars. Fast cars. He was a shooter. Was in the Army as a sniper.
Yeah.
He was pretty well known. And when he was arrested by 2 CIA assets that were police officers.
Sure.
They were in a shootout. He didn't kill either one of them, but yet he got a life sentence for both of them. Attempted murder of a police
cowboy. If this was the 60s, they'd have done the same thing to Trump. You know, I've watched some interviews where, you know, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, these guys talk about that. Trust me, that guy is getting his food checked, man. Every time he goes and sits down to eat something, somebody else tastes it first, make sure they don't drop dead before he eats it.
Not only that, I've understood that what he did was he got rid of 80% of his Secret Service and hired his own retired FBI guys, people he could put through polygraphs, people that he could control.
And
so he's got a good chief of security in there, and he knows what he's doing because he doesn't trust the government either.
Man, that'd be a bad situation to be in. Be a person of that high a profile and have to worry about that.
God bless him for standing up and doing this. Why is he doing all this? Why is he taking all this heat? Does he need recognition? No. He's got recognition. Does he need the money? No. He doesn't need the money.
See?
He's doing it to leave a legacy.
Got to be careful. Yeah. Trump has his McDonald's check before eating. If he has McDonald's, I don't know. I saw him with a picture.
That's called random going in. When he goes into a place, it's a random stop, and somebody else may eat a sandwich. He may eat the first one. Nobody's going to know because it's random. Nobody's waiting for him. It can't be planned. There's no way of planning it ahead of time.
Yeah, man. There's some evil there's some evil people out there, Red. They're evil. They come up with the most bizarre plans in their head as to how to do something, and it's twisted shit, man. I mean,
I found out through my own experience, my own personal experience, that when I was a little bit insecure about my safety, if nobody knew where I was going to be or when I was going to be there, I had no problem walking into a crowd on Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
When I was at a trial in 1989, I walked into the crowd and actually walked up and got a bratwurst and a beer because there were all kinds of vendors. How do you know which one I'm going to stop at?
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's the way to do it, you know?
And nobody expected me to be down there. As a matter of fact, the assistant U.S. attorney chased me down there and said, "What are you doing out here? No bodyguards, no security." And I said, "Look, there's people here. We're safe." He said, "Let's go into Mayor's Row." And I said, "No, we don't want to go in there."
How do you eat your pizza? You eat it with a fork and a knife?
Not me.
No?
No.
You just like to pick the slice up?
I picked a slice up. Animal eat it. You watch me eat it.
Yeah, we ate pizza. That's right.
I took a slice out and I just work on it.
I sometimes use a fork and a knife when I eat pizza. Sometimes I do.
You didn't with me. You didn't with me that day, unless you took something home. No, I took the pizza back. I took it home.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So they you know, I used to eat my French fries with fork.
Oh my goodness!
I was the guy who put all the ketchup on the French fries, and then I eat it with a fork so it didn't get all. I didn't know you make a pile of ketchup. You pick the fries, you dip it, and then you eat it. I wasn't taught that as a kid. Yeah. Biden eats pizza with a straw. Jesus, you guys are bad. All right, so let's try and stay.
Ultra Cowboy. I love the comment.
Ultra Cowboy. Oh yeah. All right. So, Red. I'm getting freaked out by AI, man. I'm getting freaked out by AI. I asked ChatGPT to write an anthem for Las Vegas and do it in the style of the Star Spangled Banner, and it did it. It did. Oh, say can you see by the bright neon light what so proudly we hailed as we gambled all night, losing money we cherish in the casino so fair, as we dream of the jackpots but end in despair. You believe this thing wrote this? With wallets now empty, we trudge through the street in the search of a solace, a moment's retreat. Prostitutes beckon with promises bold in the city of vices where stories are told. What? How does a bunch of ones and zeros come up with that?
I don't know, but the politicians are going to be writing new speeches.
Yeah. So, Adam, how about eating a taco? Fork and knife. I use a fork and knife there too. So,
I don't.
I'm
sucker up, burrito, taco, whatever it is. I pick it up and just you watch me eat Italian beef.
We don't need any more bogus anthems. People out west wait in line for an hour for taco and burritos. I hope it's better than Taco Bell. There's this taco gordito, something out there on the strip. People claim it's like the best tacos in the world, and I see line down the street.
That was the place I went to, Adam. Down the strip. If I went north towards the wind, or what direction is that? Towards the wind?
Yeah. Yeah, north towards the wind.
Right hand side by me.
Yeah.
They only spoke Spanish in there.
Winter Drive.
They only spoke Spanish in there, but let me tell you something. They had great food.
Okay.
And they make it right there to order. They chop it up. You tell them what they want, and they make it right there.
Taco Gordo. Thank you, Bobby Bag of Donuts. Fun Eagle. Can AI come up with an Adam Flowers that can pronounce names properly? Fortunately, no.
Not yet.
No, you're going to have to deal with the real one.
Stay tuned. They will be able to soon.
Get real. Come to Wisconsin. Have a brat with kraut. Yeah, brat with kraut. Man, that sounds good. God, you guys are throwing all of this stuff up now. Nachos, fries, Taco Bell are the bomb. Can you tell me I'm hungry? You guys getting all hungry. Listen to this. Everybody. We have to remember Adam is not from Chicago proper. True, Bill. Calumet City. So I'm out there in the sticks, man. I was out there by the farmers, according to Frank. It was all farmland out there.
It was. I mean, and not only that, your pizzas were slices. They weren't squared.
No, we did squares.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, everything was squares. The only time it was in a cut like a pie was if it was a deep dish or a stuffed pizza. Man, I'm getting hungry talking about pizza. I got to stop, man.
Give me a Maxwell Street Polish.
I know. Well, you guys are crazy here. Yeah. Well, this has been a fun show, guys. You get a chance to come out here to Vegas. Be sure to do the Vegas Mob Tour.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. We go all around Vegas. You get the stories, the history, the sights. We go past 32 locations in 2 hours. Almost a site every 5 minutes. Marilyn Monroe's house, Johnny Carson's, Joe Louis, Robert Goulet, Red Fox's, Tony Spilatro's, the house where they filmed Casino, the spot where Lefty's car was bombed, the jewelry store where the hole-in-the-wall gang was busted, the church with the casino chips and the stained glass windows. I mean, there's so much to see on the tour.
There is. It's a great tour, folks.
Chef Paul was just on it. And thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the show today, and thanks for bringing it.
Join us out. We're going over to my show right now for an
answer. Yeah, guys, we're going to go over to Red's channel. He wants to go get political on his channel, so we're going to sit over there and get political.
I'm talking about creatures, aliens.
Talking about aliens. Yeah, all right. We're going to have fun over there, guys. Be sure, come on over. We'll see you over at Red's channel. Red, we met. And don't forget, Tim Perroni's going to be K-Ghost Radio Tuesday, coming up next Tuesday. So, let's be sure to support them and go listen to the show.
Red, hit that outro, Adam.
Huh?
Hit that outro.
I'll hit an outro. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next Wednesday. See you on Red's channel in a few minutes if you want to come over there and hang out. See you, Red. God bless. Join us for the Vegas Mob Tour. Experience Sin City's dark past. Learn how Bugsy Siegel built the Flamingo. Find out who killed him and why. Hear who Jimmy Hoffa supplied money to back in the 50s. Visit the actual home used in the 1995 blockbuster movie Casino. And other filming locations as well. See the real jewelry store where Frank Cullotta and his crew were busted. Sit in the exact spot where Frank Lefty Rosenthal's car was bombed back in '82. View never-before-seen footage of Frank Cullotta telling personal stories about Tony Spilatro, Joey the Clown Lombardo, and the Hole-in-the-Wall gang.
This house there used to be Tony's house. Sounds like a peach color. It was brown then. The only thing changed is the driveway.
Here's an offer you can't refuse. Upgrade to the Untouchables experience. Following the tour, you'll enjoy a 3-course dinner at the Tuscany Gardens, and then VIP seating for the long-running hit The Rat Pack is Back show. Experience Vegas the way it was meant to be.